All right, Kat, thank you so much for joining me today for this tiny little short, hopefully recording of Does a Winner Wear a Crown? So question, does a winner actually wear a crown? And how do you spot one?
Does the winner wear a crown? I think they definitely need to wear a crown when they've got their award, but beforehand, I actually think most of them carry around a halo, right? I mean, one of the reasons this is so important is it's really difficult to get recognised for the impact the work sort of change practitioners do, because sometimes it's intangible, like having a good conversation with someone can change the way they approach their engagement to a project. But recognizing it, taking action, like it just needs to be celebrated more. So they don't wear a crown beforehand, but they definitely wear a halo going around because they're just so important in projects.
So wearing a halo. So with that halo in mind, I have done a short survey on LinkedIn, and I've asked people if they think they're good enough to apply for a change award. And 15% of them said they don't think they're good enough. So what would you tell them?
Wow. I mean, was thinking about this because how do I encourage more people to apply? And I do think we're just Brits as a whole. I know this is international, but Brits as a whole, they're just too modest to recognise that they're probably having an impact and that they should that they should be sort of promoted for that or recognised for it. And then also the idea of going up in front of people and being, get accepting it is in some ways also quite daunting. But I think I met so many people at last year's that sort of had those fears, one, and found that the experience was so much more than just that fear of, like, putting themselves forward and being recognized. Everyone wants to put give credit where credit is due, and the whole awards is about giving that credit. So I really ask people deeply to just go, look, we're Brits, but we definitely need to be recognised for the work we're doing. So put your application in. It doesn't take long. It's worthwhile just even going through the process to reflect on the work you've done, because you can learn stuff through it. So just even doing it, I'm not suggesting that. Doing it, writing it down is really important because it gets you to think about it. Pressing the submit button is just like 3 seconds, right? So just write it down anyway, and then decide if you're going to submit it. But I would submit it.
So submit. So how
Submit.
do you, why, sorry, not how do you, why do you support the change awards yourself?
Well, it just goes back to some, my earlier comments that I just don't think the profession's impact is recognised enough, and the awards is a really good platform. Even just in the last 12 months of its awareness amongst people, it's brought a different aspect of the community together, and it's really about celebrating the impact we have. Increasingly trying to demonstrate the impact as well by using what people have given as examples, as case study to show others. So I just think it's really important that we do this, because otherwise it still gets, the rep of not always necessary, second fiddle to project management, and it's much, much more than that. So we really need to encourage this celebration of the work we do.
Oh, and speaking of encouragement, because I bet you, I mean, you and I have spoken about it a lot of times, and you have never dreamt of being a change manager. I actually vividly recall you telling a story where you were asked for the first time to become a change agent, and you said, I don't know what it is. And I thought it was very funny. Oh, is that Freddy?
That was Freddy.
Oh, we've got Freddy.
It's the pipe. Yeah,
And
you can do it again.
no, it's okay. But look, so I wanted to ask you about, because you are really talking a lot about, with the change reactions, you're talking a lot about future generations, and you are encouraging future generations to, I suppose, join the profession. So do you think they might be interested? Do you think there's something in it?
Yeah, do you know, like, the reason I am really, really supportive of the younger generation becoming interested and involved in change in general is that everybody I've ever spoken to that's found change management has always done so after about 10 or 15 years of working in a variety of other roles, and then, God, I never knew this existed. And that to me asks the question, how many people didn't come to change management because they never found it? They never got that encouragement through that first 10, 12 years. And what did we lose? And secondarily, is there a group of people who would be interested, who are just emerging, that just don't know it exists? So what can we do to help bridge that gap? So for me, it's really important, because I do think there are a lot more people that are capable of doing this role that don't know exist and spend 10 years trying to find it. And we need to make that journey easier for people. And that's exactly what Change Reactions is about, is connecting the profession to key areas of interest when you leave college, school, university, and finding a way into the profession. And yeah, I think it's really important, because actually it's not a set of tools or processes that you learn that make you effective. It's your ability to work with others, and all of those human skills, like collaborating, understanding other people's perspectives, your own understanding of yourself, like, they're really important. But we don't really learn that anywhere, right? You learn that on the job, but also people are more natural to it than others. So I think there's quite a lot that's untapped in this area, and I think it also would make for a very different organisation if more and more people were aware of the skills that you're required to help others navigate change. Because if you can do that for others without even doing it as a job, then you're a really good employee as well. Because the moment your organisation's got a change going on, you're kind of going, oh, I get it. People are going to be impacted. Let's figure out what those impacts are. So it's just the general improvement to the way organisations run, not just the profession itself.
Mm. I think it's very powerful, shortening the journey that majority of us have went through or gone through, which is, it's taken me 10 years to realize, or it's taken me 15 years to realize that such a thing exists. So shortening the journey, and then, like you said, cultivating the change mindset. I love the idea of change mindset. I haven't yet defined what it is, but I think it's very powerful.
Yeah.
Okay, and look, and the last question, in 30 seconds, what is the future of change management?
Oh, okay. What's the future of change? Ideally, you don't need change managers. I know that's a little bit blasphemous. What you need is individuals who are really capable of understanding change for themselves and change for others around them, and then can create that environment that helps people navigate change. And then if you have that, actually, you'll be able to sort of manage change more effectively for yourself without needing, bespoke people. You won't ever eradicate it, but I do think there's a lot more we can do to democratize this change management thinking that we kind of take around with us.
Yes. So going back to that, essentially the thesis that every single person should be aware of what change management is, shortening that journey, making sure that change mindset exists and we are all aware. And for that reason, we are going to be making organizations more successful.
Yeah.
All right, listen, I mean, lovely chatting to you, Ket.
Thank you for having me
Thank you so
on.
much. Thank you so